the Move is presenting the vegan food tutorial today, and this month we're dedicating it to nutrition, some basic nutrition, some vegan nutrition, healthy plate nutrition. So we want to give you guys an opportunity to learn about maybe if you're considering transitioning to the vegan diet, or if you just know someone that is, you just want to know what it was like and the journey. So we have Miss Mimi Lindsay here today that will talk to us today. And afterwards, if you have any questions, we're going to do all the questions with the mic so that while we're recording, the audience will hear the question as well. All righty? So if you can give a nice welcome to Miss Mimi Lindsay.
Good morning, everyone. It's still morning. Yes, it is. My name is Mimi Lindsay. Thank you for that introduction, and thank you guys for your warm welcome. I actually felt welcome when I actually came in the building because it brought back so many memories. When I was in high school, I worked for the city of Little Rock every summer, and I worked downstairs in Parks and Recreations with Teresa Richardson. She taught me everything about reserving the pavilions. So that was my job during the summer, to reserve the city pavilion. So it brought back memories being here. And so I'm just grateful just to be here before you guys. And I count it an honor to present to you some information that I pray helps you. And if it's something that you've already know, I pray that you learn something new, maybe a tidbit or whatever. But I want to start with telling you my story, and I'm going to give you a snippet of it. About 3 years ago, I got really, really sick, and the doctors couldn't really understand what was going on with me. And I had some female issues going on, and at the end of the illness, they found out I had a fibroid, and the fibroid had erupted. And I was actually bleeding to death, basically. And the doctor kept giving me hormone after hormone, different things. And in my gut, how many of you know that when you hear something from the doctor, you have a gut feeling something's not right? They're telling me a little bit, but they're not telling me everything, or they're not giving me all the information that I need. That was that feeling that I had. I had a gut feeling that he wasn't giving me all the information that I needed, and that he kept asking me to come back month after month. Well, I ended up going to see another doctor, which an internist, and my internist said, I need you to go see my GYN today. And I said, today? And she says, yes. She called over and she says, I need you to go see them. I was getting ready to get my keys to go get in the car to go see her GYN. She said, no, we're going to have to send you by ambulance. And I was like, wait, what? And she said, can you tell me how you got here? Can you give me the directions? And I couldn't, because my blood had gone so low. I had half the blood I was supposed to have in my body. And by the time I got to Baptist Hospital, mind it, I worked for Baptist Hospital. I served during the day at Baptist Hospice. And so I worked for the hospital. And so to be in the ER of the hospital that you work in was just kind of surreal. So I'm in the hospital, and they say, we need you to call your next of kin. You're going to have to go into surgery right now. And, we're calling in a cardiologist. They called in a cardiologist, and the cardiologist said she's not able to have surgery today. Her heart is affected, and we need to do all these, tests on her heart. Turns out they had to give me blood, and I wasn't able to go into surgery until the next day. When I went into surgery, before I went into surgery, the doctor prayed for me. He actually stopped the hospital bed, and he called my husband, and he said, let's pray. And he prayed, and he said one word, and that word just stuck with me all during surgery. And when I woke up, I heard that same word. He says, I pray that you have your vitality back. And I said, that's what I've been missing, my vitality. Because when you're low in blood and you're low in iron and you're low in nutrients, you don't have any vitality. Like, you want to just come home and sit on the couch. You don't want to do anything. And that's exactly what I was doing. So after I woke up from surgery, I said vitality. I began to research the word vitality. I began to find out what would give me my vitality back. And that led me to plants, because that's where the vitality is. All the plants that's here on earth have what's called the nutrients that we need in order to sustain our life. I'm not going to harp on meat. So you guys that love bacon, ribs, you love hamburger meat, and all of that. Don't get nervous. I'm not going to say put away your meat, but I do want to give you some information that may help you. What I want to do, this is my intentions to help you incorporate more fruits and vegetables and beans and legumes and all of those things into your diet. And if you choose to get rid of meat and you choose to transition totally into a vegan lifestyle, that is wonderful. But if you don't, it is my intentions that you incorporate more fruits and vegetables on a daily basis into every meal that you have. I'm not here to bash anyone that's eating meat. I'm not that vegan that's going to say, you're not right for, killing that animal. No, that's not what I'm going to do. And that's why it's called the Graceful Vegan Journey, because we all need to grow in grace. And I believe shedding some grace and light on everyone about what we need to eat is the way to go and how we can incorporate that. So before I get into this PowerPoint, I do want to give you a disclaimer. I'm not a medical doctor. I am not a medical profession. I'm a woman on a mission. I'm a woman on a mission to help everyone incorporate more fruits and vegetables into their diet. I don't want you to think that I'm pushing anything on you, but I am going to push you a little bit. So, vegan, plant-based. I guess I should have asked this at first. What do you guys think a vegan is? Someone give me like a definition. What do you think? Like when someone say I'm vegan, what does that mean to you?
I'm thinking someone that doesn't eat any food that comes from an animal, including dairy or things like that.
Yeah, that's true. Anyone else?
Vegetarian.
Vegetarian, okay.
Attached to what she said, also no animal products, period.
Right. Anyone else? Okay. So the definition of a vegan is a wide variety. You can like give a whole big definition, but basically you don't eat, consume, wear, or deal with any products that come from an animal. And this young lady asked me in the beginning, do I wear leather or do I have leather or anything? I hadn't always been vegan. I transitioned to a vegan lifestyle, and I told her I have a leather couch in my home. My husband's not getting rid of the couch because I'm vegan. He's just not going to happen. So I just have to deal with that and educate him on how that affects our entire environment. But I'm not going to throw the couch nor my husband away, so we're going to deal with that. But vegans eat a wide variety of fruits, including vegetables, non-dairy milks. There's so many non-dairy milks and non-dairy cheeses on the market now that you can literally feel like you're eating cheese or having that special latte that you like. That coconut milk will give you the creamiest latte you've ever had. And let me tell you, I can make the best nachos out of cashews, potatoes, and carrots. You guys are looking like that doesn't sound right. One of the things I want to tell you is that we're going to go through this, but cashews have a high fat content and they're very creamy. And if you put cashews with a glass of water in a blender, it'll be cream. It'll be really, really creamy. So you can make cashew milk, cashew cream, cashew sour cream. All types of things, cashew yogurt and all of those things. So cashews is on our staple, and we'll talk about cashews. And so beans and lentils and chickpeas and those type of things are some things that's in my cabinet. That's my staple. And those are things that vegans eat. A lot of vegans use tofu, wheat protein. They use soy a lot, of course, as tofu. You don't have to use that, but all that is to replace the texture of meat and also give you some additional protein. There's tempeh. I'm not a fan of tempeh. I'm not a fan of the mock meats that's online, that's out in the market. I don't eat a lot of the field roast meat and the different types of bacon and all of those. And the reason why I don't is because I want to watch my sodium content. Remember, my goal is to make sure I put the max amount of nutrients in my body, not give myself something that's going to sap the nutrients out. And so if I start eating all the vegan meats and the bacons and they have like vegan, I don't know, what do you call it? Like lunch meat type of thing. If I start eating that with the high sodium content, then I'm asking for issues with my heart. because I'm giving myself. Some of those meats have triple the amount of sodium you're supposed to have in amount of one day, in one serving. That's a lot of sodium. So that's why I don't eat those. But there is about 6.7 approximately billion people in the world, and 168 million of those people are vegans. So if you decide to join the vegan journey, you're not alone. You have about 168 million people. So there's different types of vegans, plant-based, and vegetarians. And so I'm going to kind of read this out to you. Not that I think that you can't read, but I want to make sure that I give the information correctly. So a flexitarian, how many of you guys ever heard of flexitarian? Okay, flexitarian. And the reason why I gave you all of these is because I want you to know that through the transition of becoming plant-based, vegan, vegetarian, flexitarian, or whatever, there's a place for you. You don't necessarily have to just be a vegan or transition to vegan. There's a place that you can find on the spectrum, whether it's plant-based, vegan, or whatever. So flexitarian, mostly vegetarian diet, but occasionally meat. Who is that in here? We have flexitarians in here, okay? Mostly, veggies, but some meat. So you flexing, you flex your diet. Pescatarian. I started out as a pescatarian. Pescatarian, veggies and seafood. Let's just say it like that. Pescatarian, veggies and seafood. I'm sorry there's no bacon on there. No bacon.
I'm still here though.
You're still here, okay. But a pescatarian is really easy if you, I shouldn't say easy, it's doable if you enjoy seafood and you don't enjoy red meat, you don't enjoy chicken or some of those things or any type of poultry. If you enjoy shrimp and salmon and snapper and all of those things, then you will have a wide variety of beans, grains, and veggies and all those, and only seafood. The other thing is a lacto-ovo vegetarian. Lacto-ovo, it is used to describe a type of vegetarian who does not eat eggs, but does eat dairy. Who is that in here? So you eat veggies, you don't eat eggs, but you do consume dairy. Cheese. Okay. So we have, you guys, we're among family in here. We have people that they're on the spectrum everywhere. Did you guys know that some of your co-workers have these, are on these different diets? So lacto-ovo, we talked about that. An ovo vegetarian don't eat meat, or dairy products, but do eat eggs. So, okay, there's all different types. Okay, where do you start? Who wants to know where do you start? What do you do? No one wants to know where you start transitioning? That's why you're here. You want to know how you start. So, have you seen all the different veggies? Who walks into the store and you see all these different types of veggies and you say, oh my God, I really want to try this, but I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to cook it. I don't know how to make, what can I do with this asparagus? What can I do with this, this squash, this whatever? What do I do with this? So what I tell people is start with your standard few. Start with what you know and expand from there. There's no bacon in there. She's looking at me with the one eye, so I have to say that. But there's no bacon there. But start with what you know and explore. And what I tell people is to add a new veggie every week. And then research that veggie or research that fruit. Start with one every week and just kind of ease your family into it. When I transitioned to vegan lifestyle, or even when I was pescatarian and vegetarian, I actually started my family on spaghetti squash. How many of you like spaghetti squash? Okay, I started my family on spaghetti squash. I was like, okay, we're actually just not going to do pasta. We're going to try spaghetti squash. And then I added some other things with that, and I fixed it into a huge, the huge squash. And I just had my husband eat that, and he's a meat eater. And he was like, okay, I can do this. What else do you have, And after that, I said, okay, I'm going to take them a little farther. So then what I did is I took the zucchini and I made zucchini noodles. How many people like zucchini noodles? So I made zucchini noodles. If you pan fry zucchini noodles and add some cherry tomatoes and add some really good olive oil in there, that is a really, really good pasta. That is a whole meal in itself. And zucchini noodles take on the same texture as pasta when they're pan seared or whatever. They take on the same. And you know what's good? I have the spiralizer for my zucchini and all those other things. But guess what? Walmart, I've seen in Walmart, I've seen in Kroger that you can purchase those already spiralized. They're in the veggie section. You can purchase them and they're already spiralized.
Oh, frozen.
No, they're not frozen. They're fresh. And so they're where the fresh veggies are or whatever. And they have actually cucumber. I've seen cucumber. I've seen sweet potatoes. And I've seen zucchini. And so you can really do some really nice things with the sweet potato. You can have that spiralized on the side instead of just having a sweet potato like, you know, with the sugar and the butter and all that stuff that we're used to. You can actually just add some coconut palm sugar, which is low on the glycemic index, which will not spike your blood sugar. And that can be purchased in Kroger or Walmart as well. It's in a little container. It's brown, and it's about $6. And it will last you for a long time because you need less of it than refined sugar.
What was the name of that sugar?
Coconut palm sugar. Mm-hmm.
What is spiralized?
Spiralized is where it looks like spaghetti noodles, but you can do a zucchini like that. You can put it into this little machine, but you can also buy it in a bag. And it looks like pasta. And what it is that this little machine I'm doing like this, but you just crank the machine up and it comes out like pasta.
Oh, gotcha.
Comes out like pasta. And that's a much healthier way to, you know, switch out pasta for spiralized noodles. And then the other thing is you can eat more of it because it's lower in calories than pasta. And then you don't feel as full as you would with pasta. And I say, like I said, start and explore. Join some groups online. You can join vegan group. You can join a plant-based group. You can join different groups online. Of course, I have a group, The Graceful Vegan Journey online, where I do live food demos. And there's tons of groups that do that and have live demos. And I'm sorry you guys can't see this. It does look little up here now that I'm looking at this. But, of course, fruit. How many of you like Robuton? How many of you like papaya? How many of you like, oh gosh, you all are my people if you like papaya. My husband hates it. How many of you guys like jackfruit? You've heard of it. I'm so glad you've heard of it because you're going to have some today. Jackfruit. And so the same with our veggies. Explore your fruits and veggies. Explore, explore, explore. Try a new one every day. And let me give you guys a tip. I have some friends that are Filipino and Indian and different nationalities. I shop in the ethnic stores to where they shop. And I can just really just have a great time in there because I learned so much. And you can just ask people in there, hey, what is this? And then they'll tell you, and you go home and you do your research. You find out how much protein is in there, how many vitamins, how many minerals, what can this do for my body? Just like, you know, we're used to collard greens and all of those different things. Well, let's flip the script on collard greens and not put them in a pot with some ham hocks and all that. And I know that sounds good to everyone, but let me tell you, I went to Dunbar Gardens. I was at Dunbar Gardens just last week, and I picked, in Dunbar Gardens right here, I picked a ton of basil. And I had collard greens. So guess what I made? Can anyone guess with basil what I did with collard greens? I made a pesto. I made a collard green pesto. A collard green pesto. And at the Dunbar Festival, I served it there. And people were like, I can't believe that you use collard greens with this pesto. Collard greens is going to be in abundance here soon. So you guys get your collard greens, put them in a blender, blend them up, freeze them in ice cubes, and when you get ready to make your pesto, then throw it into your food processor with some basil and with some olive oil, garlic, and a little lemon juice. Makes the best pesto. Best pesto. So, oh, pesto. Okay, I'm so sorry. No. You know what? Let me tell you guys about me. Just holler it out just like you did. Pesto is just, of course you do, and I want you to. So pesto is just where you take basil and another green, or mostly basil, pine nuts, or some type of nut or whatever, and you grind it up in the food processor, and it looks green. You've probably seen it in the store. It looks like you've taken a bunch of greens and you grind them up in a blender or food processor, and then you can put it on a little piece of bread. And really it's like herbs, different herbs, and it just brings an enlightenment to your meat. If you're a pescatarian, you can take some basil that you've made up and put it on your fish. So it's just taking the form of taking your basil and some other green along with some herbs and spices, grinding it up and using it on your pasta. You can use it on your zucchini noodles. You can use it on your fish. You can use it on a little piece of bread. It's just really, really flavorful, and it's really good. It's from the Mediterranean diet, I'm pretty sure. But it's a really, really good dish, and I think you should try it. I wish I had brought some today. I would love for you guys to try that.
So we use it as a season, like.
Say that one more.
We use it as like a season.
You can use it as a season, or you can use it just like if you want to put it on a piece of toast, like a piece of hard, crusty bread or whatever, and just have it as a snack. My favorite way to have it is to have it on a piece of crusty toast with some a little extra olive oil and some fresh tomatoes. And that's a really, really good snack. Say that again. Yeah, you can have it on whatever you like. Like that's not a problem. I think the best thing is, and that's why it's called the Graceful Vegan Journey, is because you don't have to stick to a strict diet, regiment diet of I can't have this bread, I can't have that. Incorporate as many fruits, vegetables, herbs, and all of those good things into your diet by any means possible. I am a vegan by choice, and I'm not pushing veganism on you, but what I want to say is that try to incorporate as much fruits and vegetables and explore with fruits and vegetables. Like try to go into ethnic stores and pick a new fruit or a vegetable once a week and see what you can make with it. Right now, the Kusha squash is a huge squash that's at Dunbar Gardens. It is like in abundance down there. It's in abundance. And one of those squash down there is huge. One of them have about 40 seeds in it. So if you take that squash home, you can replant it in your own garden and have Kusha squash come up the next year. And with that one squash, you can remember what I said with zucchini, you can spiralize it and make it like pasta. You can even make a pie out of it because you can put cinnamon and all of those wonderful things in it and make it like a pie. That's what we had last week at Dunbar Gardens, at the Dunbar Festival. But there's tons of different things, and that's what I want you guys to know, to explore and to kind of just switch up your taste buds. You never know what you like if you don't explore. And I think I had on here, these are some of the things. Where do you start? You start with adding new fruits and vegetables to your diet every week, adding, seeds and nuts and beans to your diet, and different things that you've not had before. If you're not used to, or if you're used to having cow's milk or whatever, try almond milk. And if you don't want to try almond milk, try coconut milk. If you don't want to try coconut milk, try cashew milk. And if you don't want to try cashew milk, try Brazilian nut milk or something different that will give you some extra benefits. And I would say go so far as to try to make your own nut milk. That is the easiest thing, and I do that all the time. It's so simple. You just take 2 cups of almonds or whatever the nut is that you like, and 1 cup of water, and you grind it up, and you put it in like a cheesecloth, and you strain your milk out of that as cinnamon or whatever you want, and you only use you only consume what you use that day. Or you can make a big thing of it and put it in your refrigerator, But I can tell you, you'll save tons of money by making that your way. I don't want to bombard you, and I don't want to overwhelm you. You guys are looking like, oh gosh, she said it. We got to do something. Do I still have you? Good, good. Okay, so you can make your own almond butter. Blend it up until it's smooth, and you have your own almond butter. Like literally, it's that simple. Like blend it up, and you have your own almond butter. It is the best. You can add whatever type of spices you want. I actually do my own almond butter, and I like cayenne pepper with mine. I like a little cayenne, a little spice with mine, and it's really, really good. Pumpkin seeds are something that I have every single day. You want to know a fun fact about pumpkin seeds? Fun fact. Who wants to know? And I want you guys to go out and get some pumpkin seeds today. Did you know that pumpkin seeds, the oil in the pumpkin seeds, will help get rid of any parasite in your digestive tract? Do you know why? Do you know why? Because the oil in the pumpkin seeds paralyze them and they can't stay in your digestive tract. They have to come out.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
How do you, with your pumpkin seeds, do you eat them whole or do you just eat the inside?
I eat them whole. Like I have a handful. I have a handful of pumpkin seeds, and I just eat them on the way to work. I throw them in my yogurt. I just have them every day. I have them with some dried cranberries. I make sure pumpkin seeds. And let me just say, if you eat meat, if I was you, I'll be having pumpkin seeds. I'm just saying. I would have some pumpkin seeds if you're a meat eater. I see 3 questions over here. Did that help you?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
The pumpkin seed with salt on them or non-salted?
I get raw pumpkin seeds. All my seeds I get raw, and no salt, because remember, I'm trying to eliminate the sodium in my diet because we get it from so many things. Like there's so many things that already have sodium, so you want to eliminate sodium at any cost because you're already getting sodium from so many other sources like salad dressing and all these other things. And I order all my nuts from nuts.com because I order in bulk. And when I order them in bulk, I freeze them. And then when I'm ready for them, I'll put them in a bowl of water, get them ready, let them, dry out, put them on my counter or put them in a container. But nuts.com is a great place to get them. I'm not sponsored by them, so, They're just a really, really cost-effective way to order your nuts, to get them, because if you look at the cost of nuts and all these things, they are pricey. But if you get them by bulk, it makes economical sense. Yeah. Him and then someone over here.
As far as like the pumpkin seeds, so you don't cook them?
You can cook them. You can. In fact, this weekend at Dunbar Gardens, I did a fall quinoa salad with quinoa, pumpkin seeds, cucumbers, tomatoes, and some toasted pumpkin seeds. And I just put them in a pan, toast them up, and put them in there. The thing is to get them into your diet at least once a day. And then they're great for you. Pumpkin seeds are really, really good for you. You know what's weird? This is going to trip you out. My brother says they taste like bacon. I'm serious. He says to him they do. To me, they don't. I just like the taste of them. No, he says when you roast them, that's what they taste like. Roast them and you tell me what you think. But that's what my brother says. To me, honestly, I just like the taste. It's just like it's more of one of the fatty nuts, you can taste the fattiness in it. It's a really good nut. So I think you should try it. Go to Kroger, and in those big bins where you just get you, and pumpkin seeds aren't that expensive. Get you yeah, they're of course green, and they're flat, kind of like a larger sunflower seed. Just grab you some, just get you some in your little container and just try them out. Raw, and it'll say raw on there because some are salted, some are roasted, so they're salted, roasted, and raw. And then some of them have other spices, like if they really want to make it fancy, they'll add a Cajun spice, which you can do that on your own, but a Cajun spice. But when you get those that have the Cajun spice and all those different spices that's sweet, like a sweetened pecan and all that, they're going to be more when you can actually do that at home. You just put your pecans in a skillet, put you on some simple syrup from your coconut palm sugar and some other things, and let it dry out. It'll be much cheaper to do that.
So you said the pumpkin seed with the shells?
No, pumpkin seeds is pumpkin seeds. I don't buy them with the shell. I buy them unshelled. It's just easier. I just probably kind of lazy, but I just.
Roast them and they taste like bacon.
That's what my brother says. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they taste like bacon. That's what he says. My brother. That's what my brother says. They kind of taste like bacon to him when they're roasted.
He's not a real bacon eater.
I don't know. He's still a meat eater. But that's my fun fact. And, the other thing is sunflower seeds. You guys ready for this? Hold on to your seats. You say what?
I love sunflower.
Do you love sunflower seeds? I got a really good recipe for you. Don't jump up out of your seat though. This is gonna be exciting. But I made sunflower seed tuna.
Tuna.
Yep. Yep. Everything you put in tuna. You say what?
Can you explain?
I absolutely can. So you use a cup of sunflower seeds, your celery. If you put celery in your tuna, whatever, you put, I don't put eggs in mine, so eggs won't be in mine. But you put your mayo. I use just mayo. It's a vegan mayo. I put carrots in mine because I'm still trying to, add some nutrients to that. And yeah, you stir it up. Honestly, it'll give you a tuna consistency. I know it sounds weird. I promise you, if you try it, it's good. And I'll be willing to even make you some.
Said it gives you a tuna consistency.
It does.
Tastes like tuna?
It does, because really, it doesn't have a fish taste, of course, because it's not fish. But most of the times when we're eating, we want not only that taste, but we're looking for that texture. And it clumps up just like tuna would. Just like I'm going to show you how this jackfruit is. Same thing. It just gives that same type of texture that you would want in like a tuna sandwich. It gives that same type of texture. Yep.
What was the second ingredient? You said 1 cup of
Sunflower seeds, mayo, just like however you would make your tuna. Everyone makes their tuna different. My grandmother used to put walnuts and what do you call it? Grapes in hers, and I'm like, that's just what everybody have a different way of doing it, and it's okay, what makes the world go round. But whatever you put in your tuna, try it with the sunflower seeds. Just try it, and that's what I mean by explore. Don't be afraid to explore different things, because sometimes we get stuck in a rut with our taste and our palate, and we just eat the same thing over and over. Yeah, same thing over and over. Well, sometimes we can change, by just exploring some different things in our palate. Quinoa. How many people like quinoa? Let it replace your rice. Let it replace your rice. Make you a fall harvest salad. I'm going to give you a recipe real quick for a fall harvest salad. Quinoa, a cup of quinoa, 1 cup of quinoa, 2 cups of water. That's your quinoa. Makes the best quinoa. Yes. Quinoa is? Is that what you said? Quinoa is a grain. And so what it is, it's really small. It looks like, oh goodness, let me see. Small rice, but like half the size of rice. But I'm trying to think, there's something else I'm trying to think of. It's really, really tiny. It's really, really tiny. And it kind of looks like, not smaller than a pea. I should have brought some. I'm so sorry. But Google it. Where's your phone? Smartphones. You can't use phones in here, can you? Sorry. Oh, you can? Yeah, Google it real quick. It's just really tiny, and 1 cup of it will make a whole lot. So always remember the ratio for quinoa. 1 cup of quinoa, 2 cups of water will make the perfect quinoa. Get your water up to boil, and then put your quinoa in there. Let it boil a few minutes, like 2 minutes. Shut it down to a simmer. Put a lid on it. Leave it alone. And when the water absorbs in it, you'll know, because it'll have a tiny membrane around it, like a little white halo is what I call. And I always think about that as that's how what I'm eating is protecting my cells in my body. So when you're eating right, and when you're eating whole fruits and whole vegetables and whole foods and plant-based, those things protect the cells in your body. They like wrap around your cells to make sure they protect everything in your body. So when colds and flu come on, your body won't absorb those illnesses. And if you do absorb those illnesses, you will get rid of them really quick. That's what whole foods and that's what lots of greens will do for you. So of course, oats, legumes, black, red, all types of beans. How many people like black rice? Black rice is delicious. If you've not tried black rice, this is what I want you guys to do next week. You have the weekend to do it. And I want you guys to take my information down. It's at the end of this PowerPoint, and just send me a message and say, hey, I tried it. Either try black rice, try quinoa, try pumpkin seeds. Now, y'all, everybody eating meat, you need to try some pumpkin seeds. That's all I'm going to say. So, and potatoes. Make sure you get you some potatoes. How many people like purple potatoes? They are delicious. Please try some purple potatoes. They're in Walmart. The purple potatoes in Walmart, you can get them from Walmart. You can also get them from ethnic stores. They are delicious.
It's like a white, just a regular potato.
It's just a potato and it's purple. It's really good though. I think you should try it. Sir, what's your name? I'm going to remember your name. Because you're saying you're going to try a lot of this stuff I'm talking about.
I love pumpkin seed, but potatoes, I eat potatoes so much.
See, you guys remember, y'all remember he said he's going to try it. So we're going to check back up on him to make sure he's doing that.
Is the inside of the potato purple? Is just
It is. The inside of the potato is purple. It's purple, purple. It's really purple. Yeah. How many have seen a purple potato? Who loves the purple potato? Yeah. Try it this week. Try it. Try it. It's purple, sir. I promise you.
Are you gonna have a handout at the end? There's so much information.
I can give you access to this PowerPoint. I don't mind. You can have this. And then also, not only that, if you guys are on Facebook, you can follow me at the Graceful Vegan Journey. And you can follow my Instagram page at Graceful Vegan. I post a lot of this. And then I do a lot of cooking live. I do a lot of live cooking on there in my own kitchen. Probably so. But you can definitely go online and check it out. I have a lot of different live things on there that I've made. Okay, whole food plant-based diet is centered around a whole food, unrefined, minimally refined plants. Like that means, you know what that means? When you see unrefined whole foods, that means cook at home. That means cook your food at home. That means start eating at home. Start making your own food. Start exploring your own kitchen. Start exploring with fruits and vegetables. Start cooking at home. We've gotten away from that as a people, and I'm not going to bash anyone in here because I've had my share of eating out. But what that has done for me is it caused me to have some kind of high blood pressure that came out of nowhere. Thank God it wasn't diabetes or any of that, but I have seen a rise in that within my age group. I'm 46, and I've seen a rise with high blood pressure, diabetes, and remember, I told you guys I work in hospice care. There's some trend data that I look at in hospice care. Seems like the people are younger, you know, and the trend keeps going back to the same thing. High blood pressure, diabetes starts there, high blood pressure. So if you're having issues with high blood pressure, diabetes, weight management, all of those things, start now getting as many fruits and vegetables, especially green whole foods, into your diet as much as possible. Like I tell my children who are college age children to one of the meals that you should have should be a smoothie, a salad, or juice. Like that is just no negotiation. Let it be a huge salad, let it be a smoothie with protein, plant protein, or let it be a juice that have lots of green, you know, leafy greens in there. And that way you will know at least one of the meals I've had today have something in there that can fuel my body, that can help me. And the more you start eliminating the burgers and all of these things, and I'm not saying like totally get rid of that because I'm not here to bash anyone, but the more you can incorporate whole foods into your diet, the better off you'll be. You'll be able to get up in the morning, you won't be aching, you'll be able to, you know, sprint up and down the stairs, you'll be able to move a lot better. You know how you feel stiff and you feel like, oh, I can't jump down off this step or I can't do this? When you start to incorporate whole foods into your diet, that cushions every part of your body. That cushions those knees that are aching, your knees hurting. That gives you like your oxygen to help, you know, fuel your body to like move better. That fills your lungs with oxygen. Just try within a week to replace one of your meals with a whole food plant-based meal and see how you feel. Document it and see how you feel. Switch it with a juice or a smoothie or a huge salad. Not a salad that have like a ton of cheese and bacon bits and all that on there. I think I should say that, shouldn't I? Maybe I should clarify that. Like not one with like bacon bits and a whole lot of cheese and all of those. Try to put some beets on your salad. You know, try to put like some peppers, some red peppers, some green peppers, some yellow peppers. Try to put as much of the color of the rainbow on your salad as you can. And let me just say this, winter is coming. Like, did you all not see on Channel 7 just the other day, they were talking about the increase of flu? Like that, get prepared. The vitamin C that's in those peppers is going to help defend your body against the flu or any of those things that's going around. And if they do come up on you because you have filled your body with those, that means that you can get rid of it that much quicker. I'm not saying you won't get it, but what I'm saying is it won't linger and take you out of here. So fill your body now. So we talked about experimenting, switching up. What's the cost? I had to put this in here because I get this question all the time. How much does this cost? What about protein? What about eating out? Someone asked me about eating out as we were coming up on the elevator. They said, I would try it, but I want to be able to eat out. I do my fair share of eating out, believe me. So let's start with the cost. Because I buy in bulk and because I have certain staples in my home, the cost is so minimal. I spend far much less than I have in the past buying all these different types of meats and all these different types of food. Like I can go home right now because I have staples in my home and make up any type of meal. Like I know that I'm gonna have some green leafy, veggies there. I know that I'm gonna have celery. I know I'm going to have peppers. I know I'm gonna have rice, all different shades. I know I'm gonna have quinoa. I know I'm going to have beans. That is like, I can make a black bean burger. I can make some zucchini. I mean, I could do tons of things with that. Like you can make all types of things, So the best thing is to make sure that you have your house stocked up. And don't think that it's not doable because because it is. And the other thing, I spend so much less money. I'm telling you, I don't spend a lot of money on food because I buy in bulk and then I can just, restock little at a time. Like all of those nuts that I have, when they start to go low, I just restock a little at a time. But guess what? I always have some type of nuts at my house. Yes.
Now, question, you said the cost is low. Do you buy organic or not?
I shop local. Like I shop the farmers markets around here. I mean, we have so many different places here that we can go, like tons of farmers market. You have one on Baseline, you have Dunbar Gardens, you have the River Market, you have one in Benton, you have one in Bryant. There's so many local places and I eat in season. So I don't have to worry about organic, this and that, because if you eat in season, I know that greens is getting ready to be, in season here soon. Dunbar Gardens and some other places are going to have tons of greens. And so guess what? You get those greens, you blanch them like, remember blanching? Who remembers blanching greens? We still do that, right? You blanch the greens, you put them in the freezer, and then when you're ready to have some sauteed greens, sauteed kale with some peppers or whatever they're ready for you. So buy in season. If you start buying out of season, you start buying watermelon in November, yeah, it can be costly, because they're probably going to charge you like not 12, 14, I don't know how much ever for a watermelon inside the season. But we have so many things around the city and places around the city that we K-haul. All of these places that are right here around the city that we can purchase our food from. That helps keep the cost down. Protein, I get my protein from plants, nuts, seeds. The only thing is I put it up here and I put it in bold is that I cannot get my all of the vitamin D that I need in my body from plants, although mushrooms have a good amount of vitamin D. So know that mushrooms have vitamin D, and every chance I get to eat mushrooms, I eat those. So mushrooms have vitamin D, but I do take a vegan B12. That is the only thing that my doctor had a complaint about when I went back to get my numbers checked was my vitamin D and my B12 numbers, because you can't get B12 from plants. And that's usually within a meat source. And so I have to take a B12. And so I take a vegan B12. And where can you find more information? Have you heard of any of these things? Okay, Cowspiracy, Earthlings, Forks Over Knives, What the Health, Eat to Live. Those are some awesome documentaries. And Forks Over Knives is a great place to find some awesome recipes that you would like. Awesome place. Do you have the book? Don't you enjoy it? It's really nice. And Eat to Live, that's another great place to find more information. And thank you guys. This is all of my information here. You can take a picture of that. Yeah, I'll send you guys the slide. The previous slide. Yep, Cowspiracy. So when you watch Cowspiracy, let's just say, make sure you're probably not eating meat that day. Just gonna say, make sure, you didn't eat meat that day. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what about iron? I know there's plant iron, but plant-based iron is different than meat.
Beets have a ton of iron in them. Kale have a ton of iron. Chard have a ton of iron. When I was low in iron and I was building my blood count back up, I juiced beets every day and I roasted beets every day. I probably ate beets 3 times a day. I had like a beet burger. Beets was my biggest fan, and I love beets. So beets can give you the max amount of iron, but if you're going to, if you're low in iron, make sure you're having some vitamin C. So if I was eating beets, I was making sure that I added some green leafy that had vitamin C and also some type of pepper. I love the orange bell pepper or the orange pepper and the red pepper. I'll juice those with beets to kind of offset the acidity and then add an orange to that. And that way your body can absorb that iron, and also vitamin D. If you're going to have vitamin D, if you're low in vitamin D, if your doctor ever tell you that, increase your vitamin C so that your body can absorb the vitamin D.
Grapes too is good blood builder.
Yeah, grapes is. Any of those dark fruit, and they're not dark just because, and dark like blueberries, raspberries, and all those ones with the beautiful color. They don't have that beautiful color just because they're just a beautiful blueberry. They have that color because they have the max amount of antioxidants in it. That's an antioxidant that's causing it to be that color. Do you guys know the one fruit that have the most antioxidants on earth?
Pomegranate.
It used to be pomegranate. Have you guys heard of goji or the wolfberry? The goji berry is from India. The wolfberry is from China. Goji berry and the wolfberry. So if you ever can get your hands on goji berry, wolfberry, which I can tell you how to get your hands on it, but those are the max amount of antioxidant. That is the highest antioxidant fruit. And there's a drink called the Ningxia Red drink. If you want to know more, I'll tell you about it. But it's the highest known antioxidant, the wolfberry or the goji berry. And the only reason why I have 2 different names is because one source comes from India and one source comes from China. But it's basically the same berry. But remember, there was a study, I don't know if you remember, there was a study in Okinawa, Japan, where these people were living long, like well past 100. And they were like, why are these people living this long? What are they eating? What are they doing? They were eating this goji berry, this wolfberry. And they were using it with everything, and it's red in color. They were eating it with everything. And I think that's it.
Where can you buy the jackfruit at?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I was supposed to be telling you guys about the. Oh,
I've heard a lot about the jackfruit, but I've never seen it in stores. Not that I've looked.
you probably have seen it. That's what. Okay, so you guys, what I have here for you is jackfruit and a little corn salsa. When I first transitioned to veganism, my husband wasn't having it. He was like, I don't know where you think we're not going to eat meat in this house, but I'm going to have a porterhouse and I'm going to have it, whatever. And so I was like, no, we're going to, I'm going to try this. And so I had to basically just kind of trick my family. I had to tell them you're eating this, but maybe it's not really that, So this is what I first tried them on, my whole family. And I think I told Cameron God this. I had my whole family over for dinner. And I said, okay, we're having like barbecue chicken, with some nice salsa, blah, blah. And so they were like, okay, cool. So they comes over and everyone's sitting down, they're eating, they're good. And I waited until everyone got done. And I said, how did y'all like that? They were like, it was good. I mean, it was chicken. I mean, it was chicken. I was like, oh, okay, it was chicken. And they was like, yeah, wasn't it? I was like, no, it wasn't. It was jackfruit. They was like, what? Let me see the pot. And I was like, no, this was jackfruit. So jackfruit is a large fruit that comes from the South America region. Huge. It looks like a spiked watermelon, as big as a watermelon. When you cut it in half, it have these little pods, and it's yellow on the inside. And you've seen it in Kroger near the bananas. It's huge, it's big, it's about the same color as a watermelon. You cut it in half, it's yellow, like really yellow in the middle, and it have these little pods that you pull out and you eat. Well, those pods on the fresh jackfruit taste to me sweet, like Laffy Taffy. It's kind of like that consistency. It's just sweet. Well, you can eat it like that, or you can use it in brine. So remember, like sardines in brine, like salt water brine, that's how this jackfruit is. It's in brine and it's in a can. And so when you open it up and shred it up, it's like chicken. It takes on the same consistency as like shredded chicken breast. It's amazing. You guys should try it. I'm going to leave you samples here for you to try it. But it takes on that same consistency. And one of the reasons why I did that is because I knew that my husband and my family would have issues with not having that texture of meat. Like they needed to have that texture of chicken, that texture of meat, that type of texture. And I knew that if they could have this texture and they could have the same taste and they didn't know that it wasn't chicken, I had them. And so that's how I started with my family, and that's why I brought you guys some today. And you can find it in Kroger. I haven't seen it in Walmart, but I have seen it in Kroger, and it's $20 a pound. Yeah, it's $20 a pound. So that's how much a whole jackfruit is. And usually a family have a jackfruit and like split it up. But if you're going to buy a fresh jackfruit, let me give you a fair warning that because of the way that it's made on the inside, it has something sticky like latex. And you have to put coconut oil on your hands and on your utensils, your knife that you're going to use with it, because that sticky inside will stick to your hands and the knife and will cause it just won't even come off real good. But that's what's on the inside of that. And that's all natural latex that's edible. It was just the way the tree was made to bear fruit like that. So it's all natural. It's not, man-made. It's a natural fruit. Yeah. And then I brought you guys, what I brought today was I brought some barbecue jackfruit with the black bean corn salsa in here. And this is a staple in my home. My husband loves this. My kids love this. They like it. They love it. And so I also brought you guys just to dip. You can eat it with a spoon or whatever, but I brought you some tortillas. And I want to talk about these tortillas. You know how you going to have tacos that night at home? And you say, okay, I'm just going to go get some flour tortillas or whatever, soft tortillas. There's tortillas that have flax seeds in them, that's made with flax. Just try. This is what I mean about exploring and just switching out, just little things to help you along. So this is a tortilla that's made with flax and some other herbs, and it will give you some nutrients. Like every chance you get, try to find something that's giving you some nutrients for your body. Like every single thing you eat. Say, how is this going to benefit me? Is this going to be the max amount of nutrients? How can I get nutrients from this? Instead of like, I don't have anything against Snicker bar. I mean, a Snicker's fine. I don't know. But I'm saying, like, would I rather have a Snicker or would I rather have a mango? I would rather have a mango. She would rather have a Snicker. I wouldn't have a Snicker. I would have a Snicker because I would be like, okay, I've had a ton of sugar from this Snicker. What else am I going to be able to eat later on? Like, I'm not going to be able to eat anything else with sugar because I've eaten this Snicker, and now I've gotten all the sugar I'm supposed to have for the day with this one candy bar, probably even more. But with this mango, I can freeze this mango, make a mango sorbet. I can make this mango into a smoothie. Like, I can do some different things. I can put it in my salad, all of those type of things. So that's what I mean by trying to get the max amount of nutrients in your food. So when you guys go grocery shopping, think about not just shopping in the sense of I got to get this, I got to get that. Really consciously think about if you're going to get tortillas. Okay, I need to get some tortillas that have some really good flax seeds or something in them that can give me some nutrients. The other thing with bread, I know bread can be, costly. We'll buy the Walmart brand or, some of those things. But if you can, get you some sprouted bread. At least start there. Ezekiel bread. Try to at least start with some sprouted bread that can give you some good fiber, that can move some things through your digestive system. You know, I want you guys to remember, if you don't remember anything else that I said a lot today, and I know it, think about your digestive system. Think about making sure that you're putting things in your digestive system that's going to absorb and give you max amount of nutrients. That's where our nutrients start, in our digestive system. And if we're not filling our digestive tract up with good nutrients, those things are spilling out into our bloodstream and not giving us any nutrients. Just say you ate a Baconator. My son likes that Baconator from Wendy's. I don't have anything against Wendy's. I should look in the camera and say that because I don't want them to come back. Or any of these places for that matter. But my son likes that Baconator, and I don't know if anyone else does. But when I see him with that Baconator, he's, you know, in college, he's a kid. You know, I know he's going to be running and doing all these things. But then when I said, gosh, what nutrients did he get from the Baconator? They have killed everything. Like, he's not getting it. There's no lettuce on here. There's no tomato on here. Like, it's just meat, cheese, fat, grease, and all of that. And so I'm like, gosh, he's not gotten any nutrients from that. So he's had the Baconator, then he's had the drink, and he's had the fries. But in my mind, and I'm starting to talk to them about this, what did that give you that's going to keep you going for the rest of the day? Like, you're going to be sleepy, you're going to be tired, but it didn't give you anything. Like, you want to make sure that you've had nutrients that give you some good energy. And so if you can do one thing, if you can just do one thing for me, and that is just make sure that you're digesting food or ingesting food that you can digest that give you the max amount of nutrients. And then try one new fruit and one new veggie. And is it Kip? Kip said he was going to do it. Kip said it. So I'm going to call back and check on Kip. And all of you guys said you're going to have some pumpkin seeds, right? Yes. That's right. It was my pleasure meeting and talking with all of you guys. I'm going to stay around for a little while longer. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time. Please take some samples. You might want to warm this up. I did prepare this morning, so it is fresh for you. Take what you would like, and if you have any comments or anything, please let me know whether you liked it or whether you didn't. I still want to know that. I enjoyed you guys. Thank you very much.